Hey, first grade families, it's Mrs. O'Hare, and I'm here to start a new book by Barbara Park, and the book is called Skinnybones. And on the back it says, Play ball? Alex Frankovich is the smallest kid on his team, but he has a major league mouth, and it gets him into major league trouble. Alex knows he's gone too far when he brags his way into a pitching contest with the best player and the biggest jerk in the whole school. Can Alex talk his way out of this mess, or is he in for a grand slam of all humiliations? Now remember, I've told you before, Barbara Park writes some silly stuff, and sometimes she says stuff like even and the biggest jerk. I really don't want you guys using that word. So I'm going to read the book. I may change some of the words, but just know to take the fun parts and avoid any of the yucky parts. Skinnybones by Barbara Park. She dedicated it to Stephen and David. I don't know who that is. For your inspiration. Chapter 1. Me and the Kid with the Wooden Nose. My cat eats kitty fritters because... ... If she didn't eat kitty fritters, she would die of starvation. Kitty fritters is the only cat food my mom would buy. She buys it because she says it's cheap. She says she doesn't care how it tastes or what it's made of. My mom is not the kind of person who believes that an animal should be a member of our family. She's one of those people who thinks a cat is just a cat. I have an aunt who thinks that her cat is a real person. Every time we go over there, she has a cat dressed up in this little sweater that says Princess Kitty on it. That aunt of mine wouldn't be caught dead giving her cat kitty fritters. She says kitty fritters taste like rubber. I'd hate to think of how my aunt actually tasted kitty fritters herself, but how else would she know? My mother says that my aunt has a screw loose sometimes. Anyway, I think you should keep on making kitty fritters as long as there are people like my mother who don't think cats mind eating rubber. The end. After I finished writing my comments, I went to the closet and took out a bag of kitty fritters off the bottom shelf. I turned to the back of the bag and read the directions. It said, complete the sentence. My cat eats kitty fritters because... See, it looks like this. He's entering a contest. Then, print your name and address on the entry blank enclosed in this bag. Mail your entry to Kitty Fritters TV Contest, Box 2343, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. I dug down into the bag trying to find the entry blank, but I couldn't feel it anywhere. When I tried again, reaching into the other side of the bag. Still no luck. Finally, I got so frustrated. What do you think he's going to do? I got so frustrated, I dumped the entire 25-pound bag of cat food out on the floor. Even then, I must have sifted through a million fritters before I found that thing. At last, I put it on the table and began to fill it out. Name, Alex Frankovich. Address, 2567 Delaney Street. City, Phoenix, State, Arizona. Zip code 85000. That's how it looks right there. Just as I finished up, I heard the cat scratching at the door. I figured she probably smelled the odor of the fritters all the way down the block. Go away, Fluffy, I shouted. You can't eat right now. I'm busy. I had to get the cat food mess cleaned up before my mother got home. Alex Frankovich, you open this door, shouted Fluffy. Fluffy? Was Fluffy talking now? No, wait, it was my mother. I hurried to let her in. Why were you scratching? I asked. As she hurried past. That was a dumb question. She was carrying 2 bags of groceries. I wasn't scratching, Alex. I was trying to open the door with my foot. After putting the groceries on the counter, my mother spotted the millions of little fritters scattered all over the floor. All things considered, I think she took it pretty well. Been fixing yourself a little snack? She asked dryly. I had to think fast. Basically, there were 2 ways of handling a situation. First, I could try and get her to laugh the whole thing off. If that failed, I could go to plan B. Blame it on Fluffy. Snack? What snack? I said. I haven't been fixing a snack. I mean all those kitty fritters, Alex. I mean the huge mess all over the floor. I looked around. Floor? What floor? I asked. This was where the laughing was supposed to start. Unfortunately, it didn't. Mom glared. Do you know what that looks like? I'm waiting, she said. On to plan B. Oh, those kitty fritters, I said, pointing. Well, you're not going to believe this, Mom, but I was in the other room watching TV when all of a sudden I heard this loud crash in the kitchen. I ran in there just in time to see Fluffy sprinting out the back door. That's when I looked down and saw this giant mess of fritters all over the floor. My mother crossed her arms. She didn't say anything for a minute. Are you sure that's what happened, Alex? She said finally. Are you positive? Oh man, I couldn't believe this. She was actually going to buy it. My mom was going to buy this whole insane story. For the very first time, I was going to get away with something. Usually I never get away with anything. Positive, Mom. Honest. That's exactly what happened. The cat must have tried to eat out of the bag and she knocked the whole thing over. Slowly, very slowly, Mom walked over and put her arm around my shoulder. In that case, would you mind doing me a little favor, she asked. I started backing away. Oh no, come on, Mom, you're not going to make me clean up this mess, are you? That's not fair. I already told you I didn't do it. No, Alex, that's not the favor. What I would like you to do is go get Fluffy out of the car and bring her inside. I took her to the vet to get some shots, and she's still a little groggy. Then my mother just stood there and grinned. Not a nice grin either. One of those, ha, I caught you in a big fat lie kind of grins. Now, most people would probably give up at this point, but not me. No way. A liar at my skill level never gives up without a struggle. You know, it makes me kind of wonder if all Barbara Park's books are about children who lie. I hope not. But anyway, my mouth dropped all the way open and I managed an actual gasp. What does that sound like? Are you kidding me, Mother? Fluffy? Fluffy is in the car? Man, I cannot believe this. Mom narrowed her eyes. Can't believe what, Alex? Can't believe that you've been caught in another ridiculous lie? I gasped again. Lie? What lie? What are you talking about, Mom? I said indignantly. No, the thing I can't believe is that one of Fluffy's little friends would come in here, make a big mess, and then run away and try and blame it all on Fluffy. I'm telling you, when I find out which neighborhood cat did this, he is really going to pay. I hurried outside and got Fluffy from the car. As I walked back in the house, I kept talking to the cat so my mom would not have a chance to say anything. Fluffy, you are not going to believe this, but one of your little kitty pals almost got you in very big trouble. If you ask me, I think it was Mr. Fuzzy from down the street. I've always thought Mr. Fuzzy was the shifty type. Alex, said my mother. Yes? Give up. Give up? What do you mean, give up? I mean, you're making a complete fool of yourself, she said. I mean, I'm actually embarrassed for you. I paused for a minute. So what are you saying? Are you saying that you don't believe me? Let me put it this way, answered my mom. If you were Pinocchio, right now we could saw off your nose and have enough firewood to last through the winter. With that, she handed me a broom and started out of the room. By the way, if it'll make you feel any better, I really did enjoy the part about Mr. Fuzzy, she said over her shoulder. I thought about it. It didn't make me feel any better. As soon as she was gone, I started sweeping the little kitty fritters back into the bag. Meanwhile, Fluffy had begun to eat every single fritter in sight. I'm not kidding. No matter how fast I swept, I just couldn't get that food back in the bag fast enough. Fluffy was sucking them up like she was a dustbuster or something. A dustbuster is a small vacuum. It took about 10 minutes before I was totally finished cleaning the floor, but Fluffy never stopped eating, not until the very last kitty fritter was out of sight. Just as I was putting the bag back, my mother came in to inspect the floor. Fluffy made a weird noise. My mother frowned. What's wrong with her? I shrugged. I don't know. It's probably all those kitty fritters that she ate while I was trying to get them cleaned up. My mom's eyes widened. Oh no, Alex, those things will swell in her stomach and make her sick. She's not supposed to eat too many. She looked seriously worried. I would have been seriously worried too, but just then Fluffy walked over to where I was standing and threw up all over my shoe. It was the most disgusting thing that's ever happened to me. My mom busted out laughing. Not funny, I yelled. But Mom couldn't help herself. She left the room all doubled over. I'm not kidding. For a mother, she can act extremely immature at times. Anyway, as it turned out, she was laughing so hard, she forgot to punish me for lying. I knew getting her to laugh would work. It's just too bad I couldn't have done it without getting hurled on. The next chapter is called Showing and Telling, and I will add that soon. Have a good afternoon, and thank you for all the work that you're doing at home. I'm proud of you, and as always, I miss you, and love you. Bye.